Good evening. Welcome to the Newport Board of Education regular meeting. May I have a roll call, please? Here. All righty, well, if you all would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A moment of reflection. And I ask that you all keep the Watts family in your thoughts in the loss of Mr. Watts' father. All righty. First on our agenda is student and staff members of the month. Mr. Watts.
Okay, as we always start, we like to do this at the beginning of each week, celebrate the good things that are going on in school. So we will start with the primary. Matt, are you here? Or need you here, Matt? So Nikki, all yours.
So our student of the month is Lino Edward Pablo. So you might come on up, Lino. So Lino is a secondary school. He has been a model wildcat since kindergarten. He is extremely respectful to all of his teachers and his classmates and constantly follows all of the expectations. Lionel always puts forth his best effort and completes any task he puts his mind to. He has grown so much in the last few years. Lionel is also one of our student ambassadors and has a very top-notch group based on assessment scores, 80% or higher, and also behavior. So he's one of those ambassadors for second grade. And he recently helped us interview community members throughout Newport to help create career videos to share with the entire school population. He interviewed one of our teacher's spouses, and he complimented him on how impressed he was with his kindness and maturity during the interview. He's a model student, and we are so proud that he is Wildcat of the Month for us. And our staff member of the month is Jolie Lewis. Also, Newport. So if you've been around Newport for a few years, you know she is definitely Miss Newport. She's been here for a very long time in the community in Newport. She's been with us for, this is her 8th year with us. This is her 9th, I must count it. All right, sorry, I thought 8. So 9, this is her 9th year with us. She has been an instructional assistant in kindergarten at NPS. And from the very start, it was evident that we hit the lottery with Julie. Her love for our students and the Newport community runs very deep. For years, Julie was an active leader of the youth football league, well past the years her children were playing in the league. Who all also graduate from Newport. She's a very proud Wildcat through and through. It is not unusual to see Jolie at work at least 30 minutes about an hour before her time to start, working in the classroom, getting things done. She has worked the after school clubs for several years now, and I think every year it's been 4 days a week. Yes, 4 days a week. She's there after school till 5 o'clock. 5:30. Yeah. Of course, it's past her clock out time at 5. Of course.
She goes back to the classroom when she's done again.
That's the rest of my speech there. She is there all hours, way past the time she's being paid, because she does that out of love for the kids. Solution oriented. She sees a little issue going on at school. She'll come with us, let us know, and here's an idea on how to fix it. Everything she does is students' first approach, no matter how big or how small. And she's been with multiple different teachers in our building as an assistant, and they have all raved about her. So we definitely have a gem with Joy Billis.
All right, good evening. So our student of the month this month is Olivia Parker, a 6th grader at NIS. So Olivia's 6th grade teachers had lots to say about her this time. So they all noted that you are always following ROAR expectations. So that was their number one thing. She's always consistently showing ROAR every day in the classroom by being respectful, taking ownership, showing achievement by always having her assignments in on time, and taking responsibility. But she's not always taking responsibility for herself. She's taking responsibility for her classmates too. She's helping her classmates every day. She's being a role model for the younger kids in the building. She's really going above and beyond in the classroom, and they can't say enough kind things about Olivia. Miss Jones did say that she is proud of you and thankful to be part of your journey and can't wait to see what the future holds for you because she knows you are going to do amazing things. Congratulations, Olivia. All right, and our staff member of the month is Miss Kelly Sturgeon. So Kelly is a first-year teacher. So this is her first year in Newport and first year teaching in general. So she is excellent. I mean, you talk about an innovative classroom. You step foot in there and the kids are engaged. She's doing all kinds of cool things. You never know what you're going to step in and see her doing. The relationship piece is phenomenal. She figured that out day one, that if she didn't build relationships with these kids, she wasn't going to make it. So that was what she started off with, and the kids love her. They have a lot of respect for her. They enjoy going to her classroom. They enjoy math, which is a big thing. They really do enjoy the engaging strategies that she uses in math class. So we are super proud of her. We hope that she continues to her career here in Newport with us. With this being her first year teacher, she's done incredible. So congratulations, Kelly.
So our student of the month is Jalen Davis, and Jalen was so excited to come tonight, but her mom called about 8:30 and said she was diagnosed with the flu. But I'll read what we have. Jalen Davis has been selected as Student of the Month for her outstanding work ethic, leadership, and dedication, both in the classroom and on the field. As a student athlete, she balances academics and athletics with determination, demonstrating perseverance and a strong sense of responsibility. Jalen sets an example for her peers by staying engaged in her studies, helping others, and always striving to improve. Her leadership extends beyond the classroom as she motivates her teammates and classmates alike with her positive attitude and commitment to success. She embodies the qualities of a hardworking and determined student, making her truly deserving of this recognition. And Jalen is on our track team, so you can see her out there on the track. Our teacher of the month is Miss Emily Norman. You guys can come in. Emily Norman is dedicated to creating engaging activities that make learning meaningful and enjoyable. She builds strong, positive relationships with students, creating a welcoming and supportive classroom environment. Her commitment to student success extends beyond her own classroom, as she willingly works with students she does not even teach, ensuring that every learner has the support that they need to thrive. Additionally, she takes the initiative to pull students in for interventions, providing targeted assistance to help them grow academically. Beyond instruction, Ms. Norman also finds creative ways to celebrate student success. She develops reward systems that recognize hard work and achievement, motivating the students to stay engaged and strive to be their best. Her dedication to fostering a positive school culture is evident not only in her work with students, but also her mentorship of new teachers, offering valuable guidance and encouragement to help them grow. We are proud to recognize Emily Norman as our Teacher of the Month. Yes.
Next on our, we have presentations from ELK, our city manager is here, but John, before you come up, if it's okay with everyone, Abigail was one of the students that went to Louisville to our Kentucky Sport Association conference. And I just would like for her to have some comments for a few minutes just to tell everyone about the experience. You think you need the mic? And tell them why you got to go.
So a couple weeks ago, Miss Suzanne at the high school took a couple of her XPLA students to the CTE conference in Louisville. We got to go to this conference because we were awarded $5,000 for the SPLA program at Newport. Miss Wolf had all of the extra classroom teachers like business, construction, art, stuff like that. They all had to write something. Miss Suzanne won the grant. She wrote something great. I don't know what she wrote, but it must have been great. We got the $5,000 grant. With that $5,000 grant, we bought an espresso maker, and then we also bought a soft serve machine last year. With the soft serve machine, we sold soft serve ice cream at games and like any extra after-school activities, and we made money off of that. And then we used that money to help us get to state last year. So this year, with the $5,000 grant, we got the espresso maker, and we took that to the CTE conference, and we made espressos or coffees or whatever, and we brought the ice cream with us, and we gave those to people who were at the CTE conference. So it was schools. I think there were like 15 schools who won a $5,000 grant. Newport's FCCLA program was one of them. So each school was there showcasing what they used their $5,000 for. We were selling ice cream, and well, we weren't selling. We were giving away ice cream and espressos, and obviously it was the most popular food. Soft serve ice cream. So we had a tip jar. We made some tips, and we put those towards our FCCLA funds. And then we also are now using the espresso maker in itself. I think I don't go to school there, so I'm not sure. I mean, I do, but I'm not in the building. So I think we're selling those to teachers and whatever. Are we selling those to teachers? Gonna be. We did it at family night. Okay. We're gonna be selling espressos to teachers to help raise funds for FCCLA so we can go to state and so we can go to nationals in the summer. Like last year, I know we fundraised most of our money to pay for our hotel rooms, our food, and then our trip to Seattle in the summer. So that is what we did at the CT conference. And then in a couple weeks, we're going to state at FCCLA Star events or at state in Louisville. All of the people who are part of FCCLA are going because we all placed first, second, or third at the regional Star events competition back in February. So we're all going to compete at the state level in a couple weeks. You're welcome.
Now we have a presentation from Mr. Hayden. He's also here with Mr. Parson and a representative from PLS. These gentlemen are here because they have approached the board regarding an internal revenue bond. So Mr. Hayden is here to talk to about this project and the incentive, why they use internal revenue bonds.
Madam Chair, members of the board, I'm John Hayden, City Manager of the City of Newport. As the board is aware, that time to time we have projects that want to come into the community, and occasionally those projects are asked for certain incentives, in which the school board has traditionally been our partner and requires approval of the school board for these incentives. And so one of the things that it does is it gives a certain tax reduction, property tax reduction only, to the developer to build the site. The site that we're talking about tonight is along Route 9, which was at one time the Newport Steel Mill site. Now, as some of you are probably aware, the city of Newport at one time in its history had a significant industrial base. And as a result, a good portion of West Newport in particular has been highly polluted. This site is no different, and in fact requires a significant amount of site remediation. So the developer can get more into the weeds on that, but essentially they're going to need to dig out about 4 feet into the ground and replace all of that soil. It's a 17-acre site, so as you can imagine, that's going to be quite the undertaking. That site's been vacant for approximately 25 years, and the city is only the second offer that we've had for someone to do something on that site because of the large cost that it will take to remediate the concerns. The other use was a concrete plant, which of course we don't want that type of business in our city and the pollution. So we worked with them and they opted to sell the property instead. It's very significant for us for several reasons. First of all, because of the long period of time in which this site has not been developed, and there's other people, the sanitation district, for example, has been reaching out about this site, and they want to use that to stage a larger project of theirs. If they were to do that, that site would be tied up for the next 5 to 7 years, at least by their estimate. So in government speak, 5 to 7 years is probably 10 to 12. So that's going to be a significant amount of time that the school, the county, and the city makes next to zero revenue on that site. So this project is going to be a little under 200 units. There'll be townhouses. They'll be available for rent. And that 200 units, so not only will the school partake in the pilot, which is the payment in lieu of taxes on this situation, you're also going to get a significant amount of vehicle tax revenue. I provided some estimates for the board just based on rough assumptions. So we feel like that this is a very good investment, a very good use of this property. We would certainly ask the board to partner with us on this. PLK, the site developer, has done projects all over the city. The one that I checked out was called Factory 52 in Norwood. It's a beautiful facility, almost like a mini city there. And they have they're working on a High Park Square project. So this is a reputable developer that builds a high-end product. This will really well complement the Ovation site and the rest of the Route 9 corridor. As the board is aware, the school bus garage is also located on this corridor. So this is an opportunity, if this site gets built, bookend that with New Riff Distillery down there and the Rick houses. And there's a lot of room to develop. We could see some really cool projects come to be, which would enhance the value of the school's property should they ever decide to sell that as well. So I think that's significant. The other part that we're excited about is the developer has agreed to give a $150,000 donation to the city for the purpose of planting trees. As the board may be aware, the city was granted a $1.2 million tree grant from the Arbor Day Foundation, which federal government has rescinded that grant fund. So those 1,000 trees that were slated to be planted in the city will not be under that grant. So we've been working hard in the private sector to recoup that fund so that we can plant those trees, and we can build tree canopies, and for all of the quality of life things that additional trees bring. So they will be participating in that. They've also agreed to partner with us on a study for bicycle and pedestrian safety in that area, because we want West Newport to be very walkable. We want people to be able to go to this complex and enjoy the amenities there, even if you don't live there, and then still walk over. You want to walk to Ovation or walk to the riverfront. We have a $7.5 million park renovation at James Taylor that's going to be undertaken this year. So we want to build West End access to the park as well. So they're going to help participate in this. So we feel like this is a very good partner. This is a great project for the city moving forward. Mr. Parsons is here with the developer to answer some of the more specific questions you might have.
When I first heard about this, I was very excited because, that site has been, unsafe for some time because of the environmental concerns. I think this is a great opportunity to get that area cleaned up for the residents that live in that area. So he said something about the pickleball court there, and, how to be a resident of the housing to participate or use it for.
Yeah, we'll give you more information specific about them. We gave you a presentation about the project. We can go through that, or we can just answer questions whenever you prefer. I did a busy agenda. But the project not only includes the planned multifamily project, but also includes the commercial element, which would be a smaller part of the project. But they're looking. It's a commercial pickleball operation, similar, probably a little bit more than what they're talking about in the Factory 52, but something similar to that situation. So that's where we're at. So pickleball really has picked up in popularity now. So they're looking at having access. It will be a commercial facility, so it's not just for the residents. It's an amenity that residents of the city or any all across the region can enjoy as a commercial facility. There'll be some food service and things like that in that facility also. Yes, sir.
Would it be any commercial?
The commercial space we're talking about is the pickleball operation and so it's about and some other commercial uses in that facility. Most of the sites will be done for residential, but there's going to be the total project cost we're talking about is an $80 million project. About the $70 million is residential side. The pickleball operation commercial is about $10 million.
So just so that I'm understanding this, we're supposed to give you a tax break on the front end, and then when residents buy
The way this works, these incentives are really self-generating in the sense that as the project is built out, you will get an annual payment in lieu of taxes even during construction, when the project, so next year, say the project's acquired this year, you'll get a pilot payment next year, and then as the project is built out, as the value increases, you'll continue to get a pilot for the full term of the bonds on this. So
How long is that?
the term we're talking about is a 40-year term. In addition to that, as you know, in addition to the pilot payment you would see, you'll get 100% of the tangible taxes from automobiles or any other tangible tax project. The project would generate some of that. You also get, this certainly is different between districts, but you will get the seat benefit too, because as you know, if new investment is on your tax rolls, you get a rise in local assessments, but you will lose some state revenues. This being under, in addition to your pilot payment, you're going to get the corresponding seat benefit. I can't tell you how much that is, but different groups, sometimes as much as 30 or 40% of your rate, you'll get the seat benefit there. So one thing I would point out to you is that I'm going to mention some names. I'll mention Dennis Phelan. You remember Dennis Phelan? That I was followed him, that Bill Shepherdini followed me, and Tom Cromie was a long time. So he was actually, I had a record for a while, but then he was city manager for a longer term than mine, and now John. All during that time, we always looked at this site as a great site for development. And that's been probably almost 50 years mine on that because of the situation. This is really the first real project that's come forward for development of the site in all this time. And during that time, we used to have some Newport Steel offices there in the area and things like that, but it's really been unproductive. This is the first real productive site that's coming in next year. And we can provide more information. Nick Oakes is here from PLK to talk about the developer. PLK is a great development company. They do work all over the area. They've got specific good work with adaptive reuse type projects and things on this. But right now you're getting about $20,000 in property taxes from the site based upon the value. When the pilot goes into effect and the project's built, that's going to jump to about $240,000 pilot payment. And then as the values increase over time, that pilot amount will continue. You'll get all the tangible taxes, and you also get the seat benefit during the term. So the reason that we're asking for the incentives, quite frankly, on this is that one thing I would like to commend the city manager on this. This is my second time being in front of you in 2 months, so I don't anticipate I'll be here every month to talk about a new project. It'd be great if I was, because that means there's a lot of development going on. But with the new process coming forward, when we had the meeting with the developer, I brought them into the city. The city manager immediately reached out and asked the chair and the superintendent to come. So they're actually involved now at the very front end. This isn't an afterthought of being involved. The board's involved. Is actually involved in the front end of this project when they're meeting with the developers. It's a new process. So we're glad to be part of that, and we think we're bringing a lot of great projects to the city to move this forward.
We appreciate Mr. Hayes' approach on this because, I have used this process with you all, and I immediately bring it to the board for them to review it and have you all come and answer the questions they might have. And we're not taking action tonight, this is simply a Q&A to decide whether or not this is something we want to agree to.
We have a draft pilot agreement that I will give to the city and to your attorney to review things on that. Then hopefully at your next meeting, if it's something you're interested in, you can take up and consider.
And I will tell you that Mr. Hagenson, city manager, has been much. I mean, we're brought in from the get-go. It's almost like probably been his wife's education. He takes up half
how these need to grow in the future of the school. So you would obviously work with the city, but I do feel that you're looking at our.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions?
Appreciate it. If there is any specific questions, individual members, I can get, I can email you through Brandon or whoever, Mr. Rhodes, need contact information, just reach out to me. To move forward. The plan from the city standpoint, and they anticipate adopting bond and next Monday evening, start the process. What time frame do you need us? Sometime during the month of April. So, there's a, process where we need to move through, there's a process. There, anytime during the month of April.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll have a 10-minute break so we can celebrate our students and families if they're still here and do what is necessary. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, don't let me do it back here. About the concerns you all expressed about Mr. Watts. And the board did meet with Mr. Watts. We had a discussion with him, and we outlined our expectations, from him going forward. So we will be continuing to work with Mr. Watts, but we just want to let you all know that the board did meet with him, as I'm sure you know, because the superintendent, this is time to start the superintendent evaluation, because it's due at the end of June, about policy. So we start because we don't meet that often, so to get this evaluation done timely, we started, so while we were in closed session, we did have a conversation with Mr. Watts, and it expressed our expectations and concerns. All right, thank you. All right, and now we'll move on with our comments. And we have, four people that have signed up for comment, and as the comments are limited to 3 minutes. The first one is Elizabeth Bravo.
Thank you. Madam Chair, esteemed members of the board, Newport community, thank you for your time today. My name is Elizabeth Bravo, and I'm a second grade teacher at Newport Primary School. This is my 6th year in the Newport Public School District and my 12th year as an educator. And I was actually recognized this year as the 2025 Northern Kentucky Public School Educator of the Year. I stand before you to address critical concerns regarding the implementation of the Educational Epiphany Program and the broader issue of communication and support between central office and teachers. The curriculum department adopted the Educational Epiphany Program, which, despite being shared with the board as a full curriculum, is only a supplemental aid, presented to teachers as a means to ease our daily experience without additional work. At first, we were told there would be no new books, no materials, but in the very next meeting, we were handed boxes of flashcards and teaching materials that we were suddenly expected to implement. This immediate discrepancy created confusion and distrust amongst the teachers. Minimal training was provided by a member of the Educational Epiphany team, not Dr. Dickey himself in each building. Subsequently, several teachers, myself included, were asked to create and present sample lessons in this style, but we weren't really told why, how these would be used, or what the goals were. At the last board meeting where the curriculum department stated that they meet with and work with teachers all the time on a regular basis, I was confused, as this has not been my personal experience over the past several years. Then the next day, Thursday, March 13th, Ms. Payne and Ms. Brown observed my Educational Epiphany style lesson for over an hour and 20 minutes, recording me and my students. I was told that day I would receive feedback from them and from Dr. Dickey himself within a few days. It's now been 9 business days, 13 calendar days, and I have received nothing. This lack of timely feedback is consistent with my broader experience with central office communication. For example, on December 6th, Mr. Watts invited me to meet with him in the computer lab of the primary school to discuss concerns. He said that very few people came to visit him during his monthly office hours in each building, and I reminded him that I had actually popped in on multiple occasions in the past to speak with him, always bringing specific issues. In this brief meeting, I expressed my anxiety about the Educational Epiphany trainings, fearing a mere substitution of Larry Bell's 12 powerful words with a new face. He assured me it wouldn't add to our workload, but would support the existing learning targets and word analysis. Throughout the conversation, he maintained focus on his computer rather than engaging with me. I emphasized my concern about the district's tendency to jump between programs without teacher input, highlighting the positive impact of consistent curriculum implementation. Now we face this very thing that I had feared. Today's faculty meeting, originally scheduled for an Educational Epiphany training with Dr. Dickey's team, was changed to a building-focused meeting without explanation, and further training has been canceled for the remainder of the year. This inconsistency begs the question, what is the purpose of continually investing in programs that are not properly vetted, not fully utilized, and ultimately left to gather dust? Furthermore, I must address the manner of communication between central office and teachers. There are numerous instances where teachers feel spoken down to, ignored, or treated unprofessionally. The level of professionalism, particularly from Mr. Watts, is concerning. To illustrate, I run a celebrity reader program, inviting community members to my classroom on a weekly basis. The guests read the story with the class, and the students have a chance to ask questions about their lives, education, career. This year, we hosted all types of visitors, from a small business owner, an archaeologist, and even a member of the U.S. Secret Service. Mr. Davis, the chicken skin song is still a hit with my students. Scheduling Mr. Watts has been challenging, not to anyone's fault. His initial visit was canceled due to a hailstorm, and a subsequent attempt in January was met. It was one of the days that we had been closed for NTI. An email the day before came, "If we have school tomorrow, am I still reading or do you want to postpone?" This felt dismissive and confusing given his role in weather-related school closures and mine as a classroom teacher. We ultimately rescheduled for March 7th. On March 3rd, I received an email that read verbatim, "I'm scheduled to read to your class Friday. Just checking to see if you still have confidence and want me to come. Thanks." This email, in my opinion, was brazen and unprofessional, forcing me either to explicitly affirm my trust in him or decline his visit. This placed me in an untenable position, especially given the hierarchical structure of his position as superintendent and mine as a classroom teacher. If this is how Mr. Watts responds to public comments from teachers, I fear the potential consequences for those who voice any concerns. While he did ultimately visit my class, the process was made unnecessarily difficult. I conclude with a quote from John Quincy Adams. "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." Do we believe that the leadership we're receiving from our curriculum department and superintendent aligns with this ideal? Are we fostering a culture of trust, respect, and open communication? Is this what we want for Newport? Thank you for your time.
Next person up is Deb. Connell. Now.
Good evening, board members. I am Beth Cannell. I'm in my 6th year at Newport, my 22nd year teaching. I primarily teach junior and sophomore English. After attending the February 26th meeting, I quickly realized you are misinformed about what is actually happening in Newport schools. This led me to review curriculum reports and job descriptions. Afterwards, I outlined a list of discrepancies and recommendations. All documents are in your email as well as paper copies provided for you today. Thank you. For expediency, I will highlight a few discrepancies. At the March 12th board meeting, Ms. Brown and Ms. Payne stated, "We are in all the PLCs." In actuality, 0 of 114 PLCs were attended at Newport Primary. 0 out of 50 PLCs were attended grades 3 through 6. 0 out of 128 PLCs were attended grades 7 through 12. The February 26th curriculum report included an update concerning assessment. Nowhere in that report, nor any report since, are the changes KSA is making this year. This is critical information. The on-demand writing test taken in 11th, 8th, and 5th grades will now consist of 2 90-minute argumentative prompts taken consecutively. There are other changes as well, also included in the report. You should absolutely be notified about accountability changes for the district, for they are far-reaching. According to the June 18th curriculum report, the administration led a 2-day retreat to establish expectations for the year. As specifically stated in the report for day 1, presenters highlighted the importance of clear communication. 0 PLC attendance does not foster communication. Staff who received walkthroughs did not receive feedback 50% of the time. Fostering collaboration. In the past 2 years, numerous teachers had 0 conversations with central office about collaboration. Data-driven decision-making and system effectiveness. Requests for curriculum support with specific platforms has been denied. Data-supported platforms were cut without an alternative replacement, specifically removing reading levels grades 9 through 12. These are only a few. Please consider reviewing my full report. A sense of teamwork and collaboration does not exist. You cannot make informed decisions when you are misinformed. Job accountability and high standards matter when evaluating performance, pay, and position status. Even without these financial failings we're facing this year, I would still be standing here tonight holding others accountable. These established, continuous problems led to this outcome, the teacher's lack of faith. We evaluate based on actions and evidence, not words. Expect more, do better.
Good evening, Madam Chairman and members of the board. Thank you, first of all, for the work that you've been doing in identifying the needs of our district over the past few months. My name is Dustin Caudill, and I'm an instructional coach at Newport High School. Before working here, I worked in Boone County for 12 years, where I was entrusted with leadership roles such as aligning ELA curriculum across 4 district high schools, serving as vice chair for my school's SPDM council, collaborating with school and district leaders to support fine arts teachers. I also have experience spearheading initiatives through professional development and sharing professional insights through collaboration with district office staff and building administration to strengthen best practices for teachers. After attending the last few board meetings and having worked in this district for the last 2 years, my concerns regarding the functionality of Newport Independent Schools rests in a set of 9 questions, only 9 just to keep it short. These are things I hope you will consider, and I have copies for everyone, as talking points in the next few times that you go into a work session. My questions to the board. 1. What leadership opportunities will teachers have in curriculum development and district decision-making, including the potential for advisory roles on the school board? 2. When was the last district-wide vertical alignment session for teachers? And how will future sessions address data on student growth and deficits? 3. Since reading proficiency at the 3rd grade level has the most impact on the rest of a student's academic career, why isn't 3rd grade included in the primary school, given its importance for testing and continuity with previous teachers? 4. How will teachers be involved in selecting and providing feedback on curriculum resources? 5. How will data from district walkthroughs be used to inform and communicate the needs of students and staff? 6. What professional development opportunities will be available to teachers next year beyond that of Wildcat Academy? 7. How will professional development support district initiatives and help teachers plan within their PLCs throughout the school year? 8. Of the professional development sessions that district leadership attended this year, what resources from those sessions were shared with building administrators and staff to support learning in the classroom? 9. Given our budgeting concerns, how are we leveraging the strengths of current staff members to maximize resources within our buildings? My point here is that based on my experience, the only way that I have ever seen districts succeed is through collaboration. If Newport is going to stick to the slogan, moving forward together, I suggest we start answering these questions now. Thank you.
And next, on the comment section is the wrong role. Go here.
Madam President, school board members, Superintendent Watts, to all the faculty, staff here at Newport Independent Schools, I bring you greetings from the North Kentucky NAACP. My name is Jerome Bowles, President of North Kentucky NAACP. We have had a long partnership with Newport Independent Schools over the years, dating back to a number of previous superintendents. And, we are honored to continue to have our relationship here with Newport Independent Schools. I want to commend your educators here at Newport Independent Schools because we know the value of education. And we know these individuals wake up every day and giving their heart and soul to the advancement of the school district and to developing students as future leaders. So I want to commend all your educators. I also want to say this about your superintendent and school board. On a national level, there's a number of school districts are grappling with a number of issues that you all have currently. They're making tough decisions in terms of what are the priorities in the school district. And also, it's causing some uneasiness with current educators in those school districts, but not only the community, not only the educators, but the community. We are watching it in the community because we want Newport Independent Schools to continue to succeed and continue to work collaboratively with the educators and the school administration. We hear the teachers, but also we understand the fact that the difficulty it is right now in this day and age that we're facing with the challenges that education has going on the national level, which trickles down to our local levels. We in the NAACP continue to support our superintendent, Mr. Watts, to our school board, and we want to ask everyone here at Newport Independent Schools to continue to challenge each other, to build back better, continue to make Newport better, to continue to advance the education of all the students, continue to give your time, call on us sometime to help out, because we're here as a collaborative partner. We're here and we see that everything is going on here in Newport and we see it around the region. But you have support. Teachers have support in the NAACP and administration has support in the NAACP. So we hear you. We just want to be a part of doing what we can to assist the school district. Over the years, Newport schools have attended a number of our events, particularly have one coming up tomorrow called a Lawyers Luncheon. And what that was is Lawyers Luncheon is a program we do to connect students who are interested in law school's career with attorneys. Newport schools have participated in that over the years. So we bring in the North Kentucky Bar Association, the Kentucky Supreme Court, and a number of judges and attorneys from around the region. And then the law schools at the University of Cincinnati, University of Kentucky, University of Louisville, and Chase College Law, BKU. And we introduce students to those opportunities. And I'm fortunate to say that some students from Newport Independent Schools have participated in that, then gone on to law school gradually. And now they're back in our area here because of that collaboration with the NAACP. Not only that program, there's been a series of programs we've had over the years that we've had success working with individuals here at the school district. And so I'm glad to see that Mr. Watts and the school board has carried on that kind of active engagement and the councils at Newport Schools and the Youth Service Center to allow us to be able to continue to participate and make those students aware of these opportunities like this. So we have confidence in the leadership here. We have confidence in our educators. And I want your educators to know that we hear you. We hear you, we hear what you're saying. We're very sensitive to what you're saying. And also, we want the school district to continue to grow and continue to move our community and our students and prepare them for the future. So as far as the challenges that are going on right now in the school district, you're going to have these things that come up. They're going to come up surprisingly. No matter how well you prepare yourself over the summer, on curriculum, or anything else, you're going to have these challenges. But working together and collaborating, like what's mentioned here, in open communication, I'm confident that this school district will continue, as you all are doing, and work collaboratively to move this district forward. Thank you very much.
That concludes our comments on the agenda. Next on the agenda is the minutes that have been presented for approval. The minute dates are February 26th, March the 6th, March the 12th, and March the 19th. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? Any questions, comments, or corrections that need to be made to the minutes? Not, I need a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Move to second, all in favor? Next on the agenda is the treasurer's report for SNAP.
contracts with, outside providers. for speech and language services. We have over 100, students receiving speech and language services. Unifying disability area and also as a related service. So those contractors bill us, those for Medicaid, and we get some reimbursement back from.
Any questions for Kim regarding the bank reconciliation statement and the monthly invoice? If not, I need a motion to approve the bank reconciliation statement and file for audit and the authorization for the monthly bill. It's been moved in second, all in favor? Alright. The other documents, on her report are for information only. Anyone have any questions regarding those documents? I have asked Ms. Snap to, note on those documents. Oftentimes when, we have expenses, we are reimbursed by the co-op and different funds. So to start noting that on that documentation, so you'll know. Because if you look on the budget report, there is a, reimbursement and the lump sum, so it would help us if we could see those reimbursements on the actual invoices that you apply to. So that's kind of what it is. All right? Thank you. Alrighty. Next on the agenda is student learning and support services. Mr. Watts.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I lost this one. We want to ask to give some amounts that we spend at DJJ. So I got that data for you. We have 5 staff members there, 1 principal, 1 secretary, and then 3 teachers. We receive approximately $117,000 from KSAC. We also use Title I funds for salaries, and that equals around $98,000. And we pay approximately $100,000 out. So those are the funds that we are spending right now at DJJ. Of course, again, I explained the last time, we have an MOU with them. They provide some services that we have to provide certain things. So, we're doing some more research as to, if there's something we have to continue, and if we choose not to, then how do we go about, getting out of that agreement? So we're again investigating that. You have any questions?
No, but I did speak to our board attorney, and he's gonna be looking into that for us to see if we have to continue this relationship.
My thought is that if the state wants us to do it, then it needs to be funded by 105% based on the administrative of it. So, you don't need to be stuck.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Watt.
All right, and we have 2 items on the agenda tonight, that for approval. We have an MOU with Cincinnati Works for the high school. We have the district facilities plan, we have an amendment for the Newport primary school site-based budget, and also a fundraising request for Newport Independent, Newport Intermediate School. So we have a representative that can speak to that once we get to it, if you all have any questions or want to hear from them. So that's all I have. Next up, we have, I don't have the agenda in front of me, but
It's student
next
learning,
on the agenda.
the curriculum department. The curriculum department.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Curriculum department. Curriculum. I'm up here, yeah. Madam Chair, Mr. Watts, board members, you have my report. Do you have any questions?
So have you given any, video observations to teachers? From John, video?
Have I given any observations? No, the coaches will be working with the teachers for the observations.
But it says from the chief academic officer, the director of district-wide services and the instructor.
I will be present, but I don't give it. I don't work directly with teachers. I was trying to explain that when we talked about our roles, the difference between the chief academic officer and the director of curriculum. There is a hierarchy that goes from me to the principal, to the instructional coach, to the teacher. And I was there to watch the videos. I was even there to take some of the videos. I have feedback and notes, and I gave those notes to the instructional coach. Any more questions? You have questions? Okay. Thank you. You're welcome.
Next up, we have the DPP.
Madam Chair and members of the board, you have a copy of the DPP and Student Services report for March. I do have an update for you. We have a number of bills that were passed in the regular session. One of those that I do want to talk to you briefly about is going to be House Bill 241. That is a school calendar amendment. It also includes some caveats about non-resident virtual student enrollment. The Department of Education let us know this afternoon that we will be getting further guidance about non-resident virtual student enrollment. They are working through that process. They're looking at that regulation. It will impact us at Newport School of Innovation. So we're going to be watching that closely and waiting to see what that administrative regulation looks like and what the guidance from the State Department is going to be. The other piece to that is already generating information from the Department of Education does relate to school calendar. And I am asking permission to be able to take the 24-25 amended calendar back to the calendar committee to see if any of these provisions apply, and then to see what that committee's recommendation will be to the board. There's the potential that the recommendation will be no change. There is the provision that we are able to take additional low weather days. So right now we can take 5 low weather days or low attendance days due to weather. This would give us 10, but that committee is going to need to work closely with our finance director to see what kind of impact that's going to be, simply because if we take those, it appears right now we wouldn't receive transportation credit.
So we're really gonna have to figure out what our transportation credit is per day based on the funding that we get. And obviously, we'll work with Mr. Maines, our transportation director, but I would like to take that back to the committee. There are some provisions for classified and certified workers and making sure that they have the ability to meet their contractual work time. So that would be one addition. I apologize, that's information that the board has not had before right this minute. These are rolling in throughout the day. So that is one piece that I would suggest. And as soon as we get more information on virtual, and really what that's gonna come down to is the amount that is funded. We wanna make sure that we're using those funds appropriately. And then we're generating the funds that we need for that purpose. We have not hit our goal for attendance month 6. Although I will say, when we apply those low weather days, we do. And I'm not going to apply those until June, once everything is closed, once all of our attendance clerks have a chance to balance. A lot of people don't realize that when you're looking at average daily attendance, you're having to balance that for funding and for truancy. So there are 2 massive reports that they are going through line by line by line. And so that would be the reason. But no, attendance month 6 hit us really hard. And when I look at those dates, that's January 24th through February 20th. So we've got a couple of NTI days there. We had an NTI day, for example, on, I believe it was January 22nd. And then when we rolled into February, we had 2 NTI days. That was really due to illness. It was like February 4th, February 5th. And in that case, what happens is when I do what's known as the SAR report, that's the Superintendent's Annual Attendance Report, that calculates every minute, every performance-based class, transportation, if you're special needs, if you are at risk, if you're a language English proficiency student, it takes all of that information together and it's going to give us a number. And that SAR number is what will actually be plugged into these 7 NTI days we have. So that will alter it as well. But no, in the month of January and really attendance month 6, that was rough. It was rough for our kids. It was rough for our staff. Bad weather, cold weather, a lot of illness.
So you will keep us updated on House Bill 241.
Yes, ma'am.
And so tonight you're asking.
Tonight, it's more that I want you to be aware that I would like to take this back to the calendar. I'd like to have your blessing to be able to take this back to the calendar committee, let them look at it, and then come back to the board with a recommendation. I don't want to show up at a board meeting with an amended calendar without talking to you about it first or our calendar committee.
No questions for Ms. Stewart. Next is facility, Mr. Maines.
Madam Chair, members of the board, good evening. Later in our new business portion, I am requesting the board to approve the district facilities plan. Our local planning committee had its final meeting last night, so we have provided for you a copy of our DFP, district facilities plan. So when we get to that portion, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. You have a copy of our report. Do you have any questions? Thank you. I'm glad you did bring it up because we've been trying to get some momentum going within the community in terms of just communication in general about what a stop arm violation is. So as you're aware, on a school bus, when a bus is either loading or unloading, the stop sign comes out, flashing lights on it. And then also on the front of the bus, there's an arm that comes out that keeps students from crossing too close in front of the bus to be out of the line of sight for the driver, so that they don't start to roll forward and have a child there. So in the past, since March 3rd, I have submitted 21 maybe, stop arm violations. Basically, when we've been at some of our stops in the city, loading or unloading, we will have vehicles run a stop sign. A couple years ago, we made a good investment. I knew that it was coming in terms of legislation, and plus I wanted to address it in general with the community, and the fact that we purchased cameras, state-of-the-art cameras for our buses, HD quality. So now we are getting some momentum within our court system and the prosecuting attorney. So we are going to continue to submit those when they occur. We want the community to know that we take this serious. We don't want an accident to happen. We don't want a child to get hurt. And some of the videos are pretty telling in terms of the disregard that some of our operators of vehicles have here in the city. So, we're going to take this serious and continue to submit everyone that we can. So, Dusty Galloway is our driver trainer at the bus lot. He goes through sends me all the video footage each and every day. And actually, while I was sitting back there in the corner this evening, I had emails coming in from Dusty saying that we had yet another one. So Ms. Stewart will receive those from me tomorrow, and we're going to continue to get some support from the judicial side. Yes. Yes, we have, so there are 3 views. So we have a view inside the bus to show the driver coming to a complete stop, and there's a flashing light indicating that the stop arm is out and the lights are flashing. Another view is showing the vehicle coming toward the bus. Sometimes we're able to actually get facial recognition from the individual. A lot of times with the sun and the glare, it's unclear who's actually driving. But then there's also a rear-facing camera that picks up their license plate crystal clear. So we're continuing to do that. Any other questions? Thank you.
We'll probably, we have questions about really kind of what we have to do.
Sure, that's all. Yeah. Unless you want me to talk about it, however you want.
Okay, wait, we get to that. Thank you. Ms. Swanson. Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Mr. Watts, you have my report. Do you have any questions? I would like to give credit, if I may, to April Walsh at Newport High School. She designed and she created the video and posted it to the website. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yes, yes, they did. Yes, they did. We have a board member. Yes. Yes. Next year, we have plans to have all students directed and questioned by others. So no adults. So that's the plan. Choose to include. Choose to include. Very good. Thank you so much. Any more questions or comments regarding the report we have from Ms. Swanson? And Autism Awareness Day is April 2nd, 2025. And we have 70% of our population identified with autism and spectrum disorders. So it's a very important day day for our students and our friends in our community. And let's hope and recognize the awareness campaign on April 22nd. Are you doing anything special? Video. If you wish, we are asking parents to give us permission for students to talk about in video, a day in a life. What are some of the barriers that they encounter? Right now, we don't have a lot of parents, signatures, so we're not sure how that's going to work out later this year. Thank you. Technology, Mr. Adam.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Mr. Watts. I was given a task to do a little bit of research, and we know we try to live stream the regular special board meeting, and audio has been a challenge with our existing equipment, and kind of exacerbated when we changed rooms that we hold the meetings in, since each room is kind of wired differently. Anyway, I put together a report with some research into the best solutions that I could find. Talked to the recent state technology conference to vendors in other districts, and got the consensus recommendation for what it would take to really beef up the sound. And I also included the last year's worth of analytics off of the district YouTube channel to show actual viewership to justify if we decide we want to invest that kind of money. So hopefully everybody had a chance to look at the links in the report. If you have any questions.
Definitely something that we'll probably discuss later.
Okay, and there is an opportunity to pilot that for free for 30 days. If you want to pursue that, I can do it.
Just so you know, some of our viewers have expressed that it's hard to hear, depending on our location and mic, and so this room is not actually prepared for audio and video. So when we talk here, it makes it a little more challenging. The board was well designed because we all have our mic. And so to address that, we asked Mr. Adams to do some research, and he has done that. So we will look into that probably at our next meeting, so we can do all that. Look at it, talk to us, and
Yeah, recently I've kind of taken a deep dive into the phone bills with the district. It really hasn't officially been under the technology department. But the opportunity came up and I started looking into some things. And it's a very old school district in Cincinnati Bell / Alta Fiber is a very old company. So we have lots of buildings, and each building has had its own account, multiple accounts. So I found some stuff where I think we can cut some lines that aren't in use, and also potentially transition away from, right now we're on what's called a copper DRI service, so old school traditional phone wires, to a more modern SIP trunk system, and I think that can save us several $100s a month off of a $1,000 phone bill down to like 300. So I'm pursuing that. I think we'll be able to realize some substantial savings. I think we're halfway through. I think we have 2 more minutes.
thank you. Yes, it is. Can we get to our agenda, and then I'll let you comment? Okay. Thank you.
typically, if you want to have comments, the rule is you sign up, correct? Thank you. Next, we have old business, but we do have new business. I would like to hear more about this minimal avoided family with Cincinnati work.
Is Adam in the
Yes, he is coming forward.
Madam Chair, members of the board, good evening. So we recently started meeting with Cincinnati Works. They are a nonprofit. They are focused on coming into the high school and providing employment training, especially for our students who are committed to entering the workforce and not going to trade school or college. That's kind of their focus area. They do resume building, review skills, financial coaching, a wide variety of things with our students. They have a large partner network, so they have 92 businesses that they partner with, and they have shared their curriculum with those businesses. And essentially, if our students complete the Cincinnati Works program, they're all but guaranteed at least a job. So one of our goals is to target our students, and be really intentional with our students who are not following the traditional path, who are going straight to the workforce. We want to make sure that when they leave Newport, they have a solid base and a solid understanding of what the real job market looks like and what you have to do to be successful.
So this is like a job training program.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty.
When I reviewed it, I was like, where's the punchline?
Yeah. Another program that they have over in Cincinnati, so this is excellent. It's excellent, and it's a great opportunity for us. So, thank you.
And they'll come into our kids won't have to travel. They'll come do that in Newport, which is the biggest reason why we want to make sure they get on file because they're going to be coming to our programs.
So, have you all worked out the logistics yet?
So for the rest of this year, so the bigger part of the plan is they want to work a full year with next year's seniors. But they did agree to come at the end of the year now to help, I've narrowed a list down to about 10 to 12 of our students who have told me for sure, they just want to enter the workforce. So they're going to come in and work with those 10 to 12 seniors and try to get them, won't be the full program, but an expedited program that they want to try to, help get them landed somewhere. And then they do require their business partners. The jobs that our kids will apply for, we know less than $18.
Thank you. Right, next we have the district facilities plan. Mr. Mays, can you kind of go through the process of the plan?
Okay, so a district facilities plan is a process that happens every 4 years in every school district in Kentucky. Basically, it is a school district's way of quantifying the amount of improvement in terms of dollars for facility upgrades and improvements in the district. As well, the state requires every school district to do this so that it can also, at the state level, kind of quantify the unmet need across the state in terms of upgrades and items to address facility needs in general. So for our district facilities plan, it is created by the local planning committee. It is a group of teachers, administrators. We have Mr. Davis serve as our board member. We have local city government involved in terms of zoning and planning. So we essentially take what we have not yet completed from our previous plan. We move that forward. We also evaluate at the same time, are those needs still necessary to continue to do? And the purpose of a district facilities plan, furthermore, is to prioritize the work. It prevents a school district from being able to put a swimming pool up on the roof of central office. Okay, it allows the educational priority to stand first on the facilities plan. And as well, anything that we ever want to do down the line in terms of bonding money, it must be on the plan. So the DFP does not hold us to doing any of these projects, okay? That's the important thing. When you look at a district's facility plan, it really is a wish list. But you have to, if you ever do any project down the road, it first needs to be on it. So if it is our wish to someday put in a new track at the stadium, okay, it has to be on there. Or if we wanted to do an addition at the high school, it has to be on there before the board can commit to a project like that. So again, you're not committed to anything by approving this tonight. This again is, for lack of better terms, it's our district's wish list in terms of future projects. Now, there are some, trust me, there are very real projects on there. All of our schools have very specific needs, and I can go into detail about any of those. But but the starting point is making sure it is on the district's facilities plan before we can commit future bonding dollars to that. So again, the committee met multiple times over the past several months, and we've gone through the process of approving it. It has gone to KDE. They've sent it back to us for comments, and now at this point they're just awaiting board approval. Any questions about the DFP?
Is this just building funds,
Yes,
or is this also bonds and stuff?
it's one and the same, but yes, it's capital outlay and building funds, all of that combined. Typically, this is not a general fund item. So this is coming out of our, the money that we receive from the state that is solely for building and property improvements.
But it would require bonds.
Yes, and that would then go into your debt service payment down the road. So yes, that does have its layer of impact to general fund eventually. But in terms of the bigger dollar amounts, in terms of millions of dollars for a specific project, that doesn't directly come from general fund. The debt service payment does, but not all at once from general fund.
I know going forward, typically, the facility plans is used throughout the year. When they become a priority.
Yes.
Something needs to be done now based on our facility. It's typically has resolving on the facility plans to draw about all the different areas that we.
Right, we've thoroughly gone through our district. Between myself and Mr. Grayson, we've done this process now. We know what our buildings need, and we've made progress with that. We've done several renovations, and we're going to continue to do that.
My point is, this has been a guide for you all to the board.
Sure. Yes.
Like I said, it's a wish list, but sometimes it becomes a reality.
Yes.
So it needs to be done. So thank you. Mr. Davis, you want to share your experience on this facility committee?
It was really eye-opening and I'm going to suggest all of the people.
Yes.
There's so much involved in all this, and I'm a week very few, but I'm definitely really happy. But this is a very involved process, and we're building all the things that we're trying to do now. It takes a lot. But it takes people at this point. Really thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Next is our second reading of the 25-26 school year calendar. Any questions?
Now, is this gonna change?
I was gonna ask Mr. Rebecca.
No, see, so with the House bill that, or with the bill I was talking about before, that was, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which part of Kentucky that came from, but the bill specifically impacts this calendar year to the 24-25. And it comes about because of some issues that occurred in southern Kentucky and also eastern Kentucky with just that severe weather. There are county schools and independent schools in Kentucky that missed 15 plus days in January because of the snow, because of the ice. And so what that did was the legislature opened up additional low weather days for us so that we're not taking that attendance hit because it would be substantial. It would be thousands upon thousands of dollars of a loss. You know, when you look at an attendance rate of 91% versus 93% versus in the years past when we had 95%, which is our goal, that's a lot of money. So that's what the bill was aimed towards, but it would be the 24-25 calendar.
Thank you. From the next we have a special amendment from Newport Primary School. Someone here to speak to that. You know what the changes were? We don't have any. No, I mean. Thank you. Any more questions regarding the updated budget report? This is yeah, they're not, correct? I think it's. And the last is a fundraising request from Newport Independent School. I have any questions regarding that? Does anybody have any questions regarding the fundraising plan? Good job. Good idea. Okay. Any more questions? I need a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 through 6. Wait a minute, need a motion to add the calendar year 24-25, so the school can have permission
To take it back to the calendar.
take it out to the calendar committee. So we have a motion to add that to consent agenda. It's been moved in second, all in favor? Now I need a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 through 7. It's been moved in second, all in favor? And now, we have board comments, and we have received requests, but your comments need to be to the board. Okay, and, concerning the matter on this agenda. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, here. Okay, on this one. And I don't particularly like to do this because it sets a precedent. Yes. And so if someone else comes to a board meeting and they want to do things out of order, then the expectation is that we will allow them to do it. So that's my hesitation.
I'll make sure I promise every comment. I received text sitting here from other teachers that have gone through the Dr. Diggy having to record themselves. They were also told that they would be given feedback, neither have been. One was on the 12th and one on the 13th of March. And when I had originally gotten up here and wanted to say to you all, you clarified some of it tonight. However, I still feel like we're at a time where it's time for action. We've been too long with talk. There's huge disconnect with communication and action. And if you look at Ms. Fennell's work, you will see that there has been a lot of misrepresentation to you all. I would encourage each of the board members, every one of you, please come spend days with us in our schools. See what's really going on. Talk to teachers, talk to administrators, talk to our instructional coaches that still haven't had a meeting with the curriculum department since September. I asked for curriculum because I was put into a new position this year. There was no curriculum. And I was told, ask your principal. I asked the curriculum department, ask your principal. This is one of them told me, you need to talk to curriculum and keep us up to every way. All three of my principals have. Something else I'd like to clarify is Dr. Dickey got his money, but now he's all of a sudden canceled. Is he ever coming back? Do we get a refund? Because if he's not coming back, if he's not fulfilling his contract, they would be making us not fulfilling a contract. We would be expected to get back the money. I would encourage you to look at the Dr. Dickey stuff that we were handed. I was handed a two-sided handwritten piece of paper that any one of our teachers or IAs, anybody could have done. My 10-year-old grandson could have done it, honestly. It's not something that is outstanding. It was something that was going to help me to settle through 12th grade. We do have to do something to make better test scores. Maybe we need to stop. Every single year we change whatever thing I've been through. Clark, Hagan, Larry Bell, Educational Epiphany. And the epiphany for me was do what you're taught, go back to basics. Instead of getting all these just creative programs. We can spend a lot less money and probably accomplish a lot more to go back to the basics. I think every teacher knows that. The last place we need to start is probably the people who work with our students. We got to do better for this community. We need to do our studies. We all have a stake in this. We don't need to lose it. We can consider money the way we are. It's not going to work. Teachers are told they can't travel. We can't do this. Lafayette Academy wasn't worth on. I've taken the same thing every year we had Lafayette Academy. Please, come into our buildings, listen to us, talk to us. Talk to our admin. Our admin, they're killing themselves. Probably in health. We have good admin. We're going to lose good teachers because we don't have answers for them. And cutting teachers and making them uniform. These people are not to survive for their company. We have to do a job next year. I think we need to be made up people to make the bigger salaries that don't work with the kids. And we're truly 3.9 in the hole, and I don't know right here. It would be a lot of do now. How many teachers is that going to have to take out for you to go out? Do now. Because that's going to be yes, ma'am, I am happy. Been doing this for a long time. I've been doing longer than just about everybody in this room. No. Okay. Oh, Carla.
board members, this is a voluntary position.
Volunteer to come in with us and stop. You can stop.
We want to make a difference. Education is the people. It gives a lot of our students and community people who will not have a chance in the workforce, just like the Cincinnati workforce. You know, so I was excited about that. Because we do want to see our students, we do want our children to learn. I do talk to staff. Other board members, we also, we are doing facilities in school. I make phone calls, I do email. So yes, we are.
Come in every day.
We are having those conversations. Okay, we are having those conversations. That's what you all know, we are having those conversations. And I appreciate you all coming. But the one thing I would ask you all to do is be respectful of the board meeting. When people are up here talking, and you all in the classroom, and you were talking, your students were talking, what would you do? All we ask you to do is just be respectful of the people who are presenting and the ones who are talking. Because there's a lot of people here, so a lot of the our conversation interferes with us being able to hear the presenter.
I agree. And
I appreciate that.
something I will say is, I will tell my students if they're talking. However, this is doesn't talk to me. And the way she was, she was real right. I will also, I think you were raising.
Well, I did hear it, and I looked at this and it really.
That was my suggestion. And I think you call it, if you want to do that. Have everybody in central office be our sub.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, board.
All right, any more comments? All right, if there be no comments, I need a motion to adjourn.